Welcome back to the Speedy Feet Live.
But it's Speedy Feet Live with a difference, isn't it?
But it's not this. It's not the Speedy Feet Live. So you may be excited because it's a Wednesday. Maybe excited more like because it's a Wednesday, which is traditionally when the Speedy Feet live show was. But it's not a return of the live show, but it is a podcast for Jonathan Whalley's channel. His subscribers are displayed down below. You'll see them on that little timer there. Count it. How many is it?
But it's not for my channel. This is for the Ian and John Unipod. You need to get this into your head. This is a joint venture. This is not my channel.
I've distanced myself from that considerably.
You've put some miles between us.
Yeah, like massive amount. You know, like barge poles?
Yeah.
It's one of them I views, and I pushed you out.
Yeah.
And then someone else has pushed you out as well a bit further, and that's the distance that's...
But don't forget, I'm a limpet that's kind of attached to you.
Yeah, we talked about it in the other show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we're at today. So if you're wondering what's going on, that's what's happening. Mario's very kindly stayed on a little bit longer to set this up. So a little clap to Mario. And he pumped the tyre up, didn't he?
He did a
and
marvellous
left
job.
it down again. But you can discover about that a bit later on. Cool to see you go live. John's managing everything, really. So he's going to get on with it now. I believe I'm just his guest on his podcast.
No, it's not. This is the Ian and John Unipod. So if you're watching this and you're normally watching the Speedy Feet live show, this is the Ian and John Unipod that we've been running for about, this is episode 8 now. So this is available on Spotify and soon to go live on iTunes. This is very professional. I've managed to sort out the iTunes, so it's going to go live on iTunes.
Have you got an iPhone now? Because you said you're definitely going to get one.
No. But so if you're new to this, then welcome. You'll find out our back
Bye,
catalogue.
Mario. Love you.
Cheers, Mario.
Could you shut the door, Mario? Because then we keep the heat in. Thanks.
Yeah. You see
Love
what,
you.
You see what I put up with. Normally record on a Monday evening, and the podcast goes out on a Thursday, and it's a podcast full of interesting stuff about unicycles and fun activity and a few games and a bit of silliness as well. So doing this live streaming it, this is brand new to us, and whether we get an audience or not, I don't know. How do you find it if anybody's watching?
Loads of people are watching.
Are they?
They're always watching.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ian, let's keep the format for the podcast. How are you? We're not normally in the same room. Normally we're doing this by Teams or by some other medium. So it's really nice to be in the same room as you. Can you share that sentiment?
No.
Get out. Normally we're battling technology to try and speak to each other, but it's really nice to be in your company.
Yeah.
We've had a lovely day.
We have. So one of the first comments is, has John been drinking very red cheeks?
We've been out today riding the InMotion V12s.
We have, actually.
And we've been zipping along country lanes in quite cold weather. And yes, it might look like I've been drinking, but that's what we've been doing. But how are you, Ian?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah,
what have you been
enjoying it. I have been riding a V12. It's like I'm a small child here.
Well, that was somebody's comment. So in the last few episodes of the Unipod, I have been putting these up on my YouTube channel as video podcasts to see if we can generate a bit of interest, increase the audience numbers. And instantly, as soon as I've done that, my audience numbers of my subscriber count has dropped. Yeah. So I'm not going to be putting any more of these up on my YouTube channel, but I might.
You should do, because you're gaining a new audience. So you're throwing out the old, and you're bringing in the new. So Rich Skull says, good evening both. I'll manage the comments, shall I? Because you're supposed to be doing that because you've got the thing there. So, yeah, good evening both. He's looking at it thinking, I cannot see that comment.
I can't see that comment. Where is it?
Good evening both, it says here.
Oh, it says there. Oh, you pointed that screen.
Yeah, but it should be on that screen because that's the chat as well. But it's not working by the looks of it, is it? Because the last one's cool to see you go live. That's the last one we had. So, yeah, good evening, Rich. I hope you're doing well. Are you still riding the wheel, Rich? That's what I'd like to know.
And yes, Ian, a good guy, Ian. He let me have an M10 for a while, and I rode it about 3 or 4 times, and I had it for about 10 months.
So Ian?
Not Ian. What's his name? Rich. Rich. Do you know, it's been a really long day. Oh, what a day. It's been a really long day. Rich, really good guy. Let me borrow his M10.
So good, knows his name.
Good bloke. Anyway, so I've gone all discombobulated again. So, Ian, tell people what we've been doing today, because we've been having a blast today, apart from a 2-hour gap in the middle of the day where I had to take a video conference call. Yeah,
so this morning, first thing first, anyone's watched the Speedy Feet vlogs, John stayed over in the office, the outside office. Quite good, isn't it? Little blow up bed.
Yes.
Yep. If you've watched the vlogs, you'll know where that is. Outside my place. And we came in and then we spent 45 minutes, well, John did, sorry, spent 45 minutes wearing a jester's hat and trying to throw a tea bag into a cup. This then made us quite late to get the filming done. We managed to get a little ride out on the K5, didn't we?
Oh,
John was on the K5. It's brilliant. Not only that, John was on the trials bike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, John was on the trials bike and didn't crash.
Either of them. Didn't crash either of them.
No, didn't crash K5 or the trials bike. So we got a bit of a video coming out on the K5. Another little mini one. K5 versus the electric car. And then we've got the V12 video will be coming out. The unboxing and range test, which we've just finished.
Let's just explain what we were doing with that little video with the K5, because if you've not watched or not listened to us before, we were talking about the K5 last week, the week before, last week. And it's a two-wheeled, massively powered electric little mini motorbike type thing. 7,000
watts of power.
7,000 watts power going into both these tyres, giving it lots of drive, lots of torque, massive amount of torque. 3 settings on it: little old lady speed, normal kind of speed, and then out of your mind speed, setting 3.
Absolutely.
You twist the throttle and it just rips your face off. Absolutely brilliant. And so you had a brilliant idea that we should do what?
Should race it versus electric car. So we chose the world's slowest electric car, and it beat it.
My electric car.
Zoe, Renault Zoe. How many brake horsepower does it have?
It's 166. Was it 166?
166 brake horsepower.
166.
166 brake horsepower.
166 pounds of torque per foot.
Brilliant. Anyway, if anyone knows what the brake horsepower of that car is, let us know. Of course, 0 to 30 is very quick in that, Zoe, to be fair.
Yeah, 0 to 60 is 11.24 seconds.
Which is pretty slow.
High performance.
But 0 to 30 is quick, and like with all electric cars. So there you go. We've got... my wheels haven't been out since Cheddar.
You're joking? That was a long time ago.
It was a very, very long time ago.
What did we do to you, Rich? Do we traumatise you so badly on that experience that...
Highly likely, I would have thought. Still here, though. Still tuning in. You left John next to a warehouse full of wheels. Was that a wise idea? No, it's got a laughing face and a fire logo.
Brilliant.
Went on here because on Facebook there is no followers.
No followers. No, good. That's the kind of language that InMotion use in their literature that comes with the wheel. And when I opened up their app today after, it was a struggle to get the app to load on my phone.
Well, don't give too much away. It's in the video review, isn't it?
But anyway, when you open up the app and you go to try and put your location code in there, they've spelt it United Kingdom. So that's something that's interesting. Then what did we do after we've been racing the K5s?
We did the V12. I've been that already, haven't I?
Do you want to say a bit more about it?
No, we can't give any away, can we? We've got a full review video coming up of that V12. So, very clean and lovely. So, moving on. What have we got here? We got staff sick. That's not that page.
I read that page. That's my notes from work. Just say as well, we've had some correspondence from people complimenting me on the jingles again.
No, you haven't.
Yeah,
my wife doesn't count.
I hope she's listening to that. That's good. And I was supposed to be doing a jingle today for somebody that written in with a suggestion, and I have recorded it, but we can't play it live, so that's disappointing. Just because the setup will come next time that I'll be there. But I can insert some jingles in the edit, so when I come back to edit this for the live podcast or the podcast, which comes out every Thursday at lunchtime, I can put some jingles in there.
I just wonder what happens if we refresh this so the chat works. There's a Windows PC in it, so you can never really tell.
If it's not Apple. Okay.
You'd think that'd cycle it round, wouldn't you?
You would.
Where's the refresh button on that bad boy?
But yes, I've been out on 3 types of vehicles today, and I've only really dropped the InMotion several times.
Well, you've driven your car, you haven't crashed that. K5 you didn't crash, but you've dropped the InMotion quite a few times. Yeah.
But I've got this reputation now. I think it's over.
No idea where it comes from. 8 crashes on a 30-mile thing. So what's that on average?
Well, and that crash came in about a 1-mile section.
Doesn't matter, does it? It's 8 over the journey.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not very good average, is it? To be honest.
Let's just have a conversation then about the latest release of information from Big Ode.
Hey fellas, the lesser spotted Speedy Feet live stream.
Yeah, I know.
And anyone up for Winter Madness? Remember Speedy Feet Winter Madness?
Ring, 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 ding-a-ling, ring, ring.
Phone's ringing. You're right.
Hello, how are you?
What are you doing?
Oh, Ruby has a message for you.
She...
Oh yeah, you look like Iggle Piggle, bright and blue, with a red baby blanket.
That's my daughter. So I look like an Iggle Piggle apparently.
Bright and blue with a red baby blanket.
Thank you. Right,
What does John look like?
John look like? I don't know. You tell me.
The teacup is trying to get a tea
So-
bag.
You're trying to get a tea bag in the cup, was he?
All I heard was George Clooney.
Yeah. Right, I'll see you later. Love you. Bye. Bye.
Get heckled and slammed by a
Unbelievable.
8-year-old. Let's just talk about the latest release. There's a lot of
Yeah.
hype this week from Bigode saying they've got a new product coming out this
It's
week.
the RS, the new RS.
No, it wasn't that. So there's a lot of hype out there. People are saying on the forums, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a new wheel? Are they bringing something out? But they've just, so many new wheels coming out. And it turned out not to be a new wheel. It turned out, you were telling me all about it this morning, it turned out to be
The RS.
the batteries.
Yeah, but it was an RS, a new model of the RS.
But the big
It's the
innovation...
RS now. So,
the big innovation...
he knows a wheel I don't know about then.
The big innovation
By the
is
way,
not
he
the
couldn't
wheel.
name the M Super Pro when he came in here. He said, "Oh, look at this! That's a good 20-inch wheel. That is. I mean 18. So is it? Yeah. Oh, I love the 20-inch wheels. They're amazing.
Let's talk about the batteries in the new RS, because it is an RS, but it's an RS.
So the new RS has got 1,020 watt hours or something.
But they're saying there's a new battery is
Point.
a big thing.
So the batteries in there could be a vague interest, yeah. So they, in the demonstration video, they got a drill and screwed into the batteries, and then smoke pours out. But I don't think the video they released has done them really any favours, because it's done a bit comedic almost, a bit cap-handed. It's like not the most professional video. But smoke pours out his batteries. But the amazing thing is they don't just go poof and explode and blow your face off and then set fire to everything. So that's the advantage of those batteries. So if you were to get a drill and drill it into your battery pack,
So I was thinking about doing that.
yeah, it won't blow your face off, which is good.
Very good. But, so in the video, I've not seen you describe this to me, they were drilling into it and smoke starts to putter out of this with increasing... That's a good humor.
Yes.
With increasing ferocity, this
Yes.
smoke is coming out.
It tends to get worse over time. So as they're doing a video, you can sort of get a sense of a bit of a panic. They're like, yeah, it's just smoke, and then it gets worse and worse. And like, put the wheel down.
And they've said this actually allows you to remove...
Gives
and
you time to
disconnect.
remove the batteries if you wish to do so.
And I can only imagine that it must feel like you're trying to deactivate
A bomb, yeah.
That's
Got a
going
little
off.
countdown timer. You're like, oh my goodness.
Cut the blue
So I
one.
don't know what happens when you leave those batteries continuously, because the video stopped shortly after they lay it on its side and said, "Oh, look, you can take the battery out."
Has there
Quickly
been
took
any
it out.
reports in the news of a big warehouse fire in China somewhere since that was filmed?
No, don't think so. But that, I mean, I don't know. I suppose if they don't catch fire, that's a good thing. So
what have they done different to the batteries? Because
got
it's not
different
lithium
chemistry.
ion. So the lithium ion, which is very good, but actually very volatile
Yes,
when it's...
this obviously isn't.
So
But of course, it's a hugely lower watt hour, so the amount of it storing is significantly less. So
And have they released anything about the charge speeds of it or anything like that? Has it got any
I haven't
advantage in
seen
those
those
areas?
deals
Or?
now. I've lost interest. They wrote to us and said, "We got a new product coming out."
Mhm.
This was 5 hours before it was released. Got a new product coming out in 5 hours. I went, "Okay, what is it?" "Can't tell you." I went, "Please don't write that again. Not interested. If you're going to write to us, say, we got a new product out. This is what it is. Before anyone else knows, here's a heads up." Literally wrote to tell me we got a new product coming out, but wouldn't tell me what it was. She said, "Yeah, we're trying to build up the..." I was like, "Yeah, don't bother. Pointless."
Good. Let me tell you what I've been doing this week. Thanks for asking. I released a
Single.
video. No, it's a single. What about the jingles on a single? A single jingle.
Single jingle.
I released a video on my YouTube, my hugely popular YouTube channel, this weekend.
Figures down there.
Figures dropping off.
1.2 million. Oh no, what was it? 1.2 people.
Yeah. And it was all about introducing the idea
What's
of...
your channel called?
It's called Jonathan Whalley Wheel Life. And I'm going to change it.
Windows. Time to restart. Let's say
Wait,
wait.
let's wait an
Let's say
hour.
wait now. It seems a little bit inconvenient to try and do a Windows update. In the
I'm
middle
just
of
not
it.
actually doing anything now, so...
Oh, it's back.
Oh!
Brilliant.
All right, okay.
All the comments back. Right, read the
Yeah.
comments out, John.
Okay.
Excellent. Windows, love it.
Yeah, I'll come back to this. I'll finish what I was telling you about the my video I put on.
Oh, I
We've
like
been
that.
having a conversation on the podcast about the legality of EUCs and trying to do what we can to help them become legalised.
Where you are, yeah.
Well, I think we need to. We can't continue in this kind of passive way, just hoping it'll be okay. Oh, well, maybe we can. That's what we've done so far. And So I posted this video, which is all about introducing the idea of some etiquette, some riders' etiquette, so if we can all kind of maybe adhere to a series of standards for the way we should ride. And I'm not talking about when you're off on the trails or in the skate parks or those places where there's nobody around and you can go as flat out as you want and as fast as you want and jumps and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about when you're in public places, or on footpaths where there are pedestrians and people pushing pushchairs, those kind of things. Come on, Grandad. Those kind of places, or when you're using roads.
Nerd.
Nerd alert. But those kind of things about allowing us to demonstrate that they have got a place in modern society alongside other forms of transport. So I've done a video. You'll find it on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description below.
Will you?
The podcast.
You're going to do that?
I will do that.
Okay.
And I've got some largely, hugely positive response to it. But a few people have come back with some negative views of that, saying, for example, because in the video I said having lights is really essential. And I've made the point as well that lights on the back of EUCs are not always as good as the ones in the front.
I've got some input from a viewer.
Go on.
If you want them to be legalised, John, stop falling off them.
That's been retracted. Message retracted because he realised how bad it was that was...
I think that message is going to come back in a second, but spelled correctly.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right.
Yeah. So that is a good... That's a good sort of contribution to the conversation. Is Jonathan Whalley a good representation of the community of EUC riders? And does he do it
just
a favour or does he do a disservice?
A massive disservice.
That's the question that we should be asking.
Yeah.
Glances across to see the comments come back again.
Plethora of comments slagging me off. Finally, I will point this one out. Finally, some glamour on the channel. I think that's talking about me, not Amy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's put it back again. Just read it again. If you want them to be legalised, John, stop falling off them. Okay,
Chasey Payments. Can you retract that payment and spell it properly? That's not how you spell legalised. So what is the point? The point I'm trying to make is, should we have a set of etiquette that would help us all to sign up to ways that we agree to ride in public places? So the point I was making about the light on the back, for example, I said, maybe think about having an additional bicycle light that you can put on at rucksack height. Rucksack height, so that drivers can see you more visibly, because your lights are quite low down, and sometimes on some wheels the lights at the back are not that bright. And somebody on that one said that was a bad idea, and that I got my facts wrong, and I should, and I don't. And somebody had said as well that, because I made a suggestion, and maybe you should wear a helmet. And somebody said, that's the point, you've lost me, I'm switching off at that point.
That's the same guy though, wasn't it?
It was the same guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps
he's just not keen on you.
I know we were going on at like 56 kilometres an hour today. I just think if you're coming off at those speeds with that helmet,
an hour, shouldn't you?
That just sounds like that's...
John is an example of what can go wrong. A cautionary tale, if you will. This is brilliant. He's getting his comments good. If you want to be legalised, John, stop falling off them. John's example of what can go wrong.
I'm just remembering now.
Keep those comments coming. We're interested to hear your views. You know, this is democracy here at Speedy Feet Live.
But what do people think about, as we said as well, about maybe having some kind of an affiliated association that you could join? Who would be prepared to sign up to be a member of a EUC affiliation that allows EUCs to be ridden? If you're a member of the association, that you pay an annual subscription that gives you an insurance that goes along with that. It would probably need to be third-party insurance because you can't insure them as motor vehicles. And if this idea gets traction and people are willing to think about this as a potential idea solution, then maybe it's something we can look to develop. And I was liking it in previous podcasts to things like the Paddy Group and the other associations that people use for skydiving and those kind of things, and flying gliders that you need to be a member of. You demonstrate you can ride to a certain degree of proficiency, you pass the requirements to get in, and you become an associated member. Just an idea. Tell us what you think to that. Interested to hear people's thoughts. But it's surprising that some people, well, not surprising, some people think if you start to bang on about it, you'll draw more attention to it, and therefore you'll make it worse, and that doing nothing is a solution. So maybe that is the answer.
So we got any more comments on there, John?
Yeah, Marcus Sweden says, follow the bike rules. How hard can it be? Need any of the rules? Exactly. So go and watch my video. I pull out the highway code and I follow those rules and I talk about those rules exactly. The rules are there. There are already formally recognised rules.
Ready to be broken.
Ready to be broken, yeah. And I'm not saying I'm a saint. One guy commented, and he was saying he's 60 years old, and he rides his... No, he's saying that he was 60
He was 60. He was saying to you that he's 60 years old.
He was very, very appreciative of my video.
Was it?
And he was saying he's not a saint. He will, jump up onto the curb sometimes. He will... I've just seen that EUC chasing payments comment, which I'll come to. But he's not being a saint.
Screen as well, yeah.
And I'm not a saint, and I will, jump up onto the curb and onto the road, and I will do things that sometimes are a bit risky, and I will fall off occasionally. But I will try and be respectful of other people when I'm in public places, and I will ride in a way that is, I believe, following the highway code.
What's the Oxford Dictionary's definition of occasionally?
From time to time. So let me point out, chasing payments, EUC chasing payments is paid. So £30 insurance for most of us and £3,000 for John. Big thumbs up and a startled face.
Excellent.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Thanks. And I
agreed. So we got someone else. What they say?
Agreed. Higher excess for John.
Agreed. Yeah. So I just got it on the screen now. The main screen says, if you look above, look, the TV showing you what's viewing. So you've got the computer screen and you've got the TV screen, shows you what we're live with.
Right.
So what have we got?
Got to bear in mind this goes out as a podcast, and so
plus liability. So we've got let's go back a little bit. John is example what can go wrong. Cautionary tale. Then we got £30 insurance for most of us, £3,000 for John. Then it's agreed higher excess for John, and then someone's helpfully put plus liability. So that's good. So they've sort of encompassed all of that, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm just remembering why we don't do this live on a regular basis. But that's good.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, look at that video and add your comments and get a conversation going, and maybe share it on the forums that you're involved with and get a conversation going on those forums if you can. That would be really helpful, because I would like to try and stimulate some kind of a movement to get something done. Ian Hornby has been a regular correspondent on the show. He's sent me some more stuff. His final current message came through just before we went live on air, and says basically, I think we're, instead of a rude word, because there was another example of somebody having an e-scooter taken off and points on licence and a fine and those kind of things. So sadly, at the moment we're not there, and there seems to be some authorities clamping down on use of PVs, but craziness. They're a green, clean solution to personal transportation. Yes, thank you. EUC Chasey Paper, stop hiding behind this strange name and tell me who you really are.
Ivan. Ivan. He's been on the ride dates before with us.
All right,
so he knows what his riding's like.
Okay, alternatively, Ban John and the rest of us are good to go.
Yep. Agree with that. Seems fair.
Yeah, now, in seriousness, it's a great idea. Concerned what the uptake would be, though, if it's voluntary. Yeah. So one of the ideas is to put this proposal together and maybe present it to the Transport Minister. But I think we need to have the will of the people behind it before we could really take something on behalf of everyone. But it might have legs to it, and I'd rather be part of the solution than part of the problem. So are you still doing, this is Skymaster saying, so are you still doing guerrilla warfare in the Forest of Dean, in the UK, because of legality issues?
No, we've been out on the road today, haven't we?
So yeah, we ride pretty much everywhere and anywhere, and my point would be that if you're going to go onto the trails, that's where you're going to go and do the crazy fun stuff where you're jumping over logs and doing tricks.
We've been out today doing the range test on the V12, and
we had to use the roads because we're trying to stack the miles on the wheels as much as we can, and you can't do that
off-road in this weather is horrible.
The video will show. The video will show.
There's only one V12.
Video is due to come.
Yep. So next up, we got the mouse. That's it.
Yeah, and one other person has corresponded with the show regularly is a guy called Tim Lake.
Tim Lake.
Tim Lake.
Shout out to Tim Lake.
Tim Lake.
Tim Lake. Woo!
So I said to Tim, you're officially a friend of the show.
That's really sweet, isn't it?
And his immediate response was, whoa. Call me an associate of the show. Didn't want to be a friend.
No. It's a bit like when you said it's a joint podcast. I'm like, no.
Right, okay. We are going to have a conversation now about looking after your wheels. So that we have this bit of
this
section
is a really
of the show.
bad two bad topics for you to bring up, isn't it? With you.
Yeah.
Looking after your wheel. Don't crash it, number one.
But somebody was talking about, it links to what we were talking before about the Gode's new battery product and battery fires and those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you can tell us what you think is the best advice for people to look after their wheels in terms of the battery life, getting the most out of the wheels.
Well, all I've ever done in all the years I've been riding is just to charge it to 100%.
But that goes against advice. And I was watching
To a
something
degree.
online, was it Electric Vehicle Guy, talking about electric cars and only ever
Charge
charging
80%.
80%.
Yeah.
So the standard advice is don't charge it to full.
It's where this advice comes from, isn't it? Oh, thank you. Does depend. So we've had four Nissan Leafs, of which three of us have had them for 4 years. Mum and Dad have got one. They've had it for 6 years, 7 years. Done 100 and something thousand miles. And all of us charged them to 100% all the time.
Yeah.
And there was no battery dedication over 4 years when we handed them back from the lease. I plugged in a dongle and bought the app, the Leaf Spy app. No degradation at all. And theirs is still working absolutely fine as well. Charged 100% every single time. With the wheels, personal experience from having however many wheels it is now, basically every model, always charging 100% with no issues whatsoever. So there may be amazing scientific advice out there saying charge to 80%, but every time we've done it across, you're talking like 80 different devices, it's been absolutely fine. No issues whatsoever.
And if you've got a wheel that's got 1,700 watt hours of battery or something,
750, 1750
as we were riding the Emotions today,
in motion.
V12.
The in motion V12, yeah, not emotions, because there's only one.
All right. Well, there was two today.
Well,
Oh.
so
Anyway, am I saying all the wrong things?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, if you've got a wheel that's got a capacity of about 1,750 watt hours, and you know that at around about 15-20% of, because most wheels, that's kind of the cut-off point of where it'll start tilting you back, and you only charge it to 80%, you're actually giving yourself a wheel capacity of only 60% of the battery you're using. Because you don't want to be riding it past that train, because it's a pain in the backside. Yeah. If you're limited to 12 miles an hour. And
so the only other thing is, if you're not riding it massive miles, you don't want to ride it all those miles, is to charge 80% and then every fifth charge 100%.
Yeah.
That's been my advice. So you cycle the batteries fully and they balance them. So.
But what do... people still want to talk about breaking wheels rather than this issue, so I'll come back to breaking wheels. No, I'll come back to that.
I haven't seen that. Come on, you said breaking wheels. Don't let John near it.
Okay, I'll come back to that.
In all the years John's been riding, how many has he broken? It's not worth mentioning. Not worth it. It can't be that many. Well, have you broken? Right, I could probably get this little list together fairly conclusively. S2, Ninebot 1 S2, broken. KSS 18, broken.
1E, broken.
1E, broken. What else have you broken?
M Super's now.
M Super V3 is broken, but no, I don't think you did most of the damage on that, did you?
No, that was somebody else on one of the ride outs, but that's not why it's broken. I went out, I'd not ridden it for a long time, charged it up, rode it, overvolted it. The MOSFETs, I think the MOSFETs are blown or something. The smoke was coming out of it.
Oh, well, maybe you did break the wheels then. Tried to get you out of that.
My Monster was making some odd noises as well, wasn't it?
It's not broken though, is it?
No.
You did drop it down the side of a little ramp thing.
I broke the Sherman.
You did break. Actually, you did break the Sherman. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah,
spectacularly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you broke the rim, didn't you?
As we said, yes, I can just see it now. John riding up to number 10 and crashing into the front door. I could do that. We did go and actually see the Shadow Transport Minister.
Did we?
Not you and I. So I went with somebody else to see the Shadow Transport. To have this conversation. Demonstrated the wheels to him, and as I was demonstrating the wheels to him, I was thinking, "Don't fall off, don't fall off." Imagine if I said, "These are great. This is the future." Got on it and smacked into us.
Yeah.
We were talking about looking after battery power. So I'd be interested to know what people think and say as well. Do you charge your wheels to 80%, or do you charge it to 100% each time? I don't think I've met anybody that only charges to 80%, who sticks it in.
You're fighting against time as well, so batteries degrade over time.
That's right.
So you can try and sort of wrap them in cotton wool. Probably dangerous actually, especially with fire. But time you're fighting against. Just do it.
Yeah, and also we're just saying that about the likelihood of you actually smashing your wheel up or doing something with it. And how often do you go before you, not you, because you live in this kind of unique, kind of strange world of available wheels just that you take off and ride and test and then sell on and things. But most people, how often do you ride, or how far do you ride a wheel before you swap it out and get a new one?
You're asking the people watching.
I'm asking the people watching. So because the other thing is, I don't think I've ever met an EUC rider who's only got one EUC. You buy one and then you tend to almost immediately think, well, I'd like another one now. You know, that does something different. It goes a bit further, or goes a bit faster. But most people, maybe, have you ever ridden a wheel that's come to the point where it's not getting battery life? Is it disappointing battery life? I'd be surprised if you do. Let the people speak.
Let the people speak.
And in fact, EUC Chasing Pavements, who's winning our star prize for most correspondence tonight, has said, regarding charging, I have done 5,000 miles on my MSX 84 volt and it still charges to 84.3 volts using a smart charger, which is what? I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's good.
Good, that's good. And that's the other thing, yes, with some of these readouts on some wheels that give you it in just volts, it's confusing.
Well, if you said it only charges to 76, you'd be like, something wrong with that. But if it's 84 volt and it's charging to 84 volt, that's pretty flipping good, isn't it?
Yeah, after 5,000 miles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I've ridden lots of wheels, and I've never really noticed any kind of depreciation in battery life. There are some tips though for charging batteries or for storing batteries as well. That you shouldn't keep your unicycles in places where there's extreme temperature changes or temperatures extremes. So I know I used to keep mine either in my car
or in the shower.
Yeah, I still shower with it. Or in the conservatory, and the places where it would get very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. And I don't think that's particularly good for battery life either. What about getting the most out of wheels while riding? What do you think? Any tips or advice?
Getting the most out of wheels whilst riding.
Yeah.
In what respect? Battery.
Yeah, so if you're on a ride out...
So lose weight.
What you say?
Yeah,
Rude.
definitely lose weight.
Rude.
Lose weight, that's the biggest way you can gain range. Obviously not in an unhealthy way. So you don't want to be anorexic, really.
Nope.
But lose weight and then more pumped up tyre, so more PSI in your tyre.
Yep.
Will get you more range. And ride slower. 3 major things. You'll probably hurt your back though if you pump the tyre up too much. And if you ride slower, you might not enjoy it as much. But losing weight's a win-win.
So the other thing is, I would say, understand the reality of what your wheel is supposed to do and how far it's supposed to go. If you've got a wheel that is, because they always say on the box in the packet, it's going to do some ridiculous amount of miles, and they never do. They say in perfect conditions with somebody that weighs the same weight as a leaf, then you'll go 150 miles or something, and in all reality, you'll get a fraction of that.
Yep.
So be realistic about what you expect to get out of your wheels. People coming in with comments, which is good. Somebody said, Skymaster, with all this COVID stuff, I'm using about 2 full charges of my 18XL per season. Now, yeah, COVID has kind of held us back, but it's not stopped me riding. It's we're out of major lockdowns now, and it's something you can do on your own and a good ride out. And I've still been wrapping the miles up, but I know what you mean. But a full charge of your 18XL, what are you getting out of that? So a full charge, I think I did a range test after doing about 3,000 miles on my 18XL. Fully charged it, rode it fast, and got about 55 miles, I think, out of it on one full charge.
It was a lot, wasn't it?
It was a lot, and then it left me in the middle of nowhere. I had to walk a long way. And yet, Explore Devon UK said, agree, John, 80% is pointless. Yes, the battery may last longer, but not much fun walking home or being on a ride out with your mates and they're zipping off into the distance.
Exactly.
And you're being tipped back. And then I thought you kept in a bag with all the other broken bits. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, you could just picture John's Conservatory, a graveyard for broken wheels. You should see this place. This is like the place where unicycles come to die.
Brand new ones in boxes.
There are, but there's also the scattered
Yes, we
remains.
do take all of John's wheels back in and put them in the workshop. Yeah.
In fact, we have got as well.
Nice.
I saw it. I won't pass it today. Is the shell of the Ninebot ones that we did the test rides for the 1,000 mile one, which we never used. We used them for one trip. And
Are those brand new Ninebot ones?
I bought a brand new Ninebot one, which is only about £700.
It's only 700 quid. Bought it, went for one ride, did 100
Did
miles.
100 miles on it, and we drilled bits into it. We thought,
Yeah.
this is the future, we're going to modify these.
Yeah.
And then it sat on the shelf, and it's never been turned on since, and that must be about 6 years ago. I'm still cautious about 80% charging. How about cell balancing? If you don't charge it to the bottleneck, cell balancing doesn't happen, I guess. That's from Skymaster. So
Just covered that off, didn't we?
yeah, so the bottleneck is where the smart chargers or the chargers take it to about 90% and then slow down the charging, so it
They do it automatically. They say slow down, it always
Yeah.
tapers off.
tapers off.
But you do it every 5 to charge. If you want to charge to 80%, charge to 80%, and then on the 5th one, charge to 100.
But you need a slide rule and a ready reckoner to get off your wheel to think, right, I've got 33% left on it. Put it in now, and then I'll set my alarm to come back in exactly
The
4
only
hours and
time
55
I would say
minutes.
don't charge 100% is if you go out for a ride and you do about a mile. There's no point in getting back in the house and then sticking the charger back in and charging that tiny little bit up to 100%. Don't want to be doing that. That is daft. But just ride it normally. Unless your journey is 1 mile, then there's probably a case to be said, probably just let it. If you're doing 1 mile to work, like half there, half back, that's a mile a day, run it for the week and then charge it up.
What about when you've got 2 charge ports on your wheel? They're obviously there for you to use. Is that better for the batteries, or is it better to just a single charge?
Makes
Make-
no real
make-
I
make
mean,
difference.
the amps are so low. I mean, the only thing is like that K5, it's got 2 5 amps. It's for charging at 10 amps. That's a lot of power
So
for that battery.
what about this then? So you've got...
I think you can charge without causing damage at about 8 amps. Well, most chargers are 1.5, 1.75 or 2.5 amp.
So if your wheel comes with a 3 amp charger,
Yeah, you can charge at 6 amp. It's not going to cause it any harm at all.
but so and it's got 2 charge ports,
Yeah.
and you've got I've got 5 amp chargers that I use.
You've got a 3 amp and a 5 amp probably, haven't you?
But yeah, but say I'm some other person, I'm Skymaster who's got a lot of wheels, and I'm guessing, and you've got 2 5 amp chargers, and you plug them both in. What's that going to do to the batteries? Is that any
Well,
good
you
for the
definitely
batteries?
want to check they can take 10 amps.
Okay, so don't
Because
that's
there's
what I'm getting
the cables from the charge port down to the batteries. That if it isn't rated correctly and you over amp the old girl, it will melt.
and that's what will cause it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be put into a what? Fire. I wouldn't want to be. I don't charge anything with 10 amps. Like that K5, I've only plugged 1 charger into it. I've plugged 2 5 amp chargers into it. I just don't see the point.
Good. So that's hopefully some helpful advice for people out there that are really enjoying our broadcast today, and will tune in now every week to the Ian and John Unipod, available on lunchtimes Thursdays on Spotify and on iTunes and on Google Play. How long have we been going, Ian?
Will it damage the battery to keep on charge? Is a comment from Explore Devon. No, shouldn't do unless there's some leakage from the charger. It should not do. So if you get leakage from the charger, it will actually start to overcharge the battery, but it shouldn't do. If it's green, it should not be putting any power out.
EUC Chasing Pavements has made a comment on my use of that Ninebot 1 and the 100-mile trip we did in it, saying John has solved the charging problem by just using his wheels once before breaking them.
Yes.
It's expensive, but it solves it. And no, we've got a list of Skymaster's wheels now. I wonder who's got the most wheels out there that's watching. He's got a KS14DS, a V8, and the KS18XL, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. 3 wheels.
Smug.
Smug. How many wheels you got, John?
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
How many wheels you got working?
Working. How many wheels do I ride on a regular basis? My 18XL is my little workhorse. Love it. I've got
Available at speedyfeet.co.uk.
Yeah, all of these available at Speedy Feet. We've got the EX is a brilliant wheel that I love to bits. I don't ride as much as I would love to. The problem is when you get all these wheels, you don't get then a chance to ride them all. My probably favourite wheel at the moment is still the Sherman. So when I ride the other wheels and go back onto my Sherman, I go, oh, that's really nice. And
That's
then,
the problem, isn't it?
yeah, I've got the Monster that we did the 1,000 miler on, which still works.
That's my monster.
That's your Monster. We've got a blue one of those. That's great, yeah. And that's probably enough for now.
So it'll be going 42 minutes.
We're going for right. Okay, we've been going 40 minutes. These should last about 40 odd minutes, so I'll edit this down. But this is the time of the show. If you've not listened to the shows before, he's got 5 EUC.
They're all working
papers,
as well.
5 all working.
Those wheels all working.
Smug. And
That's what it's like not to crash, isn't it?
Yeah. People that don't crash got lots of
Marty
working
Beck
wheels.
has Backy. Probably has most wheels. Disagree.
Marty Beck has probably Marty Beck is what I would call as some addictive personality and a hoarder. Yeah, he needs to get some serious.
There's a lot of wheels out here in the warehouse.
Oh yeah, you've probably got them more than anyone.
I think I trump it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. All right,
Apart
okay,
from e-wheels.
This is. I'm going to insert the jingle here. So if you listen back to the podcast, there's a jingle in there.
Was there?
This is for a part.
There's a jingle just then.
There will be when it goes out on Thursday.
I didn't hear that.
This will be the part of the show which is what I call Challenge Ian. And
Challenge Annika.
This is where I'm going to ask Ian a series of questions. It's not related to EUCs, it's just a bit of fun. Normally we're at opposite parts of the country and I can do this without him seeing the questions. And I'm going to give you a series of options, right? I'm going to give you the name of something. You love this part of the show. Look happy. Look happy. Show the people you're happy to be here. Right. I'm going to give you the name of something.
This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If I do that.
This is either the name of a dog, a type of breed of dog.
Which language is this?
These are dogs from around the world. Or it's a sausage. So we're going to play a game of sausage dog.
Very good.
Okay, so you need to say it's either a sausage or a dog.
Can the viewers join in?
The viewers can join in, so you're going to be quick.
You're very quick.
I really want to see
on
those
your
fingers. So this is it a sausage or is it a dog? This is a Sai-Croquissan.
Sai-Croquissan is a type of sausage.
Sai-Croquissan
Yeah.
is a type of sausage?
Yeah.
Definite?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a sausage.
See?
Okay. So, Marcus Sweden has quickly jumped in here and said, "What about the weekly show?
When will it be back?"
Okay. Yes, it is a sausage. It's from Thailand. It's a sour fermented sausage.
It is. Yeah, it's fermented. It's
with pork, rice, and fish sauce.
I don't like that at all. It's too fermented for my liking. If it's not fresh, then it's like, okay. What's the point?
Is it a sausage or is it a dog? This one is the Leon burger. The Leon burger.
That is a dog. The Leon burger.
Is it a sausage?
Yeah, it's a short-haired dog. Got 4 legs.
Is it a sausage?
It's a dog.
Or is it a dog?
Nobody asked me that. It's a dog.
It's
Obviously.
a dog.
Yes,
it's a dog. Well done.
it's
It's a dog.
Yes.
It's part of the family.
4 legs.
4 legs.
See?
Yeah.
See, I know
Part
that
of the
one.
family
Yeah.
of the St Bernard
Yes.
breed. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
This next one, is it a sausage?
Yeah.
Or is it a dog? This is a Lap Cheong.
Lap Cheong is a sausage.
Is it a sausage?
Yeah.
Or is it a dog?
It's a sausage.
It is a sausage.
It's a sausage. I don't know my sausages are my dogs.
This is it's from China.
Yeah.
It's sweet and it's smoky.
Correct. Yes, sweet and smoky.
Okay.
Yeah.
This next one is it a sausage or is it a dog?
I know it's always the same.
So just let me know your feedback now. If people are enjoying this part of the show, sausage or is it a dog?
Nothing to do with unicycles at all.
No, it's a bit of fun.
Oh, fun!
This
yeah,
is
that
a Schipperke.
Oh,
Schipperke.
Schipperke. That's a tough one. Schipperke.
Is it a sausage or is it a
I
dog?
don't think you're pronouncing it correctly, though.
Probably not.
No.
Is it a Schipperke? A Schipper.
That's a dog, I think.
Is it a sausage or is it a dog? There's no comments coming in.
I wonder why.
Yes, it's a dog.
Yes, I thought it would be.
It's a
Yes.
dog. Okay, right.
Right.
This is bred in Belgium to be used, a working dog used
Yeah,
on canals.
Yeah, on the canals, yeah.
Canal.
They pull barges.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I'll jump in for fish, I don't know.
No, they pull barges.
Okay.
Harness them up and they pull barges.
Well,
along.
strap in, we've got 2 more to go.
Yeah.
This is...
Oh, well, there's
is
2 more. I think
is
I've
it
won
a
this. I need to
sausage?
carry on doing it. I've got every single one right so far.
Best feature ever, so
Yeah.
shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's
sarcasm.
Yeah.
I can even tell that when it's written.
Okay, this is the next one. Is it a sausage or is it a dog? It's pronounced Azawa. That's how I'm pronouncing it anyway. Azawa.
That's a dog.
Is
Yeah.
it a sausage
It's a
or
dog.
is it a dog?
It's a dog, yeah. Yeah. Dog. Go.
It is a dog!
Oh, yeah, I see.
You are smashing it out of the park. Okay, yes, this is South African.
Shall I get one wrong?
South African. Shall I get one wrong? We'll see.
Yeah.
South African. This is used to chase down gazelles.
Yeah. Those
You
flipping
are
gazelles that
smashing.
get
You've got
everywhere.
100% record so far. Can you keep it up?
No, I'm going to get this one wrong on
Okay.
purpose. This is the last one.
This one is.
Whittle the mouse.
Oh, Wiggle the Mouse. This one is the Cottacino. Is it a sausage or is
Gotta
it
be a sausage. Surely, that's a sausage. Cottacino.
Yes, it's a sausage! Ian, I'm genuinely thrilled. I want to beat you every week.
Yeah.
That is an Italian heavily spiced with coriander,
Yeah.
cloves, cinnamon, and pepper.
Pepper. That's the bit that gets
Oh,
me every
brilliant.
time.
Ian,
Yeah.
honestly, I can't thank you enough for that. That's
That's
challenge, Ian.
exceptional.
You've
Yeah.
won 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I win
smash
every
it
week.
up.
Yeah.
There is a prize to come.
There's no arrogance in that.
All right, we're going to wrap it up now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Christmas,
it.
I suppose, isn't it?
But before we do wrap it up, what are you doing for the rest of this week? Anything
Hopefully, I'm going to rest now because you've been here all day. So I need to recover from that. And then
I am
rest.
genuinely shattered
Yeah.
from this whole
It's tiring.
experience.
Yeah, it is really tiring.
You properly drained me. Yeah, great show, best feature ever. This is good comments coming through.
You've repeated best feature ever, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's not a new comment. It's one person said it. So, hello from France. Marty said he was trying his best to keep his wheel count under 10. He has failed.
I'm going to say this now to the camera. Marty, you're a liar.
And he's failed.
You failed.
Evidently.
Failure and a liar.
I'm a master sausage identifier. That is a good label.
I don't think you should be proud of that.
Why not?
I wouldn't
If
shout
you
that
know-
going down the street.
If you know your sausages,
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
we're doing a piece to camera earlier on, just before I filmed it. This is for a YouTube review coming up at some point in the future. I realised my flies were not just undone, but were gaping. You were almost a master sausage identifier on that occasion as well.
maggot.
Chipolata. But some updates for you. For
Really?
regular
I thought it was
listeners.
just wrapping us up.
Regular listeners to the show, we are looking to get people in to join us for the show as special guests, and I have reached out to Wrong Way, who is a big YouTuber, well known, and for 2 weeks, Wrong Way has ignored me, and that was a consistent feature of the show.
Don't worry, it's just crashed down a little bit.
Wrong Way has been in touch. He has corresponded, and his first words were, "John, big fan."
Was he hot?
I think it was calling out for help, yeah. This is needed. So he's agreed to be on the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to get...
Which show is he on?
He's going to be on the Ian and John Unipod podcast. We're going to do...
Can I have that week off?
No. No,
You don't want to overdo it. Don't have too many people
It's
on
not
there.
going to be Challenge Ian. It's going to be Challenge Ian and Wrong Way.
Yeah, no, you need to basically just don't have too many people on. Don't get too crowded. 3's a crowd. They've always said that. So just have Wrong Way on and you, and then I can go on holiday or something on that day.
Yeah. So another message coming there from Marcus Sweden.
Yeah.
I can't read it in my
Was
glasses.
it, I
fell.
think actually I just put it on the screen.
Glasses. And it's gone.
You said you couldn't read it. It's back there. Oh, got it. So we miss Speedy Feet on YouTube. Oh, that's
well,
sweet, isn't it? Marcus is cool. He's a cool dude. Yeah.
So we're going to get Wrong Way on the show as well. We'll have a bit of fun with him. I can't wait. All the questions I want to ask Wrong Way, like, is it a sausage or is it a dog? So that's going to be good this week. That's probably it. Thank you, folks, for watching. Don't forget you can find the Ian and John Unipod on Spotify. If you've missed previous episodes, go back and check them out. There's at least 7 or 8 on there now. You can contact us to add comments and contributions. And I do like John, but stay safe, COVID, 2 meters distance. This is actually camera trickery. We're not even in the same room.
I do like John. I do like you, John, but just at a safe COVID 2 meter distance. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Weekly live show, will it be back? And what about the vlogs? No to all of those. No live show back. No, never, not to say never, but at the moment, this present time, no. It's a coincidence that John happens to be down at this day on a Wednesday. So,
Yep.
there we go.
But you can contact us on Ian and John podcast at gmail.com. So Ian and John podcast at gmail.com with your suggestions for future features. And if you'd like to have people doing guest spots, and let us know who they are.
Are you wrapping this up? Or not?
But we're wrapping up. So that's it for this time. So thank you, folks.
Longest outro ever.
Bye then.
Yeah, bye. Love you all. See you later. I don't think we've actually got an outro for the Speedy Feet thing because I don't know where
This is
that
the podcast.
let's have a look. Graphics. We've got graphics. I've got graphics here. See if we can add.